お嬢様。
Hello my lords and ladies, Joe here. Continuing my series on Eureka, and if it's worth your time, today we will be looking at the steeped, forbidden land Eureka Hydatos. So, welcome to the final stretch of your Eureka journey. The map has never been easier to navigate, being one flat connected zone. The level range is only 10, so most people can group up rather conveniently without having the experience debuff. Gone are the sleeping dragons you had to tiptoe around. You still have your Logos actions to help you. So, what's the catch? Well, there's a saying players in Hydatos like to throw around. Welcome to Hydatos. You're here forever. Yes, the major drawback to Hydatos is its huge crystal grind. Notorious Monsters here are particularly stingy with crystals, and you're going to need a ton of them if you want to get everything Hydatos has to offer. Because of this bottleneck, Hydatos is one of the most active zones in Eureka. It is also this part of the field operation that has the highest rate of burnout. So be warned and be prepared. Take everything you've learned along the way, hunker down, and get to that crystal farming. In Hydatos, there is one new reward that is introduced, and that is the strongest of the logograms, the obscure logograms. To obtain them, you will need to down high-level fate spawner mobs. And considering the crystal grind that is in store for you, should you want the weapons or armor rewards, this is a win-win scenario. Not only do these logograms give you access to some of the best Logos actions in Eureka, but like Pyros, you'll need to unlock all the new ones available to have access to the armor vendor in Hydatos. Before I get into the other rewards, if you want a brief description of each reward source, check out my previous videos. Sprites once again drop different types of logograms in Hydatos, and I encourage looking up which drops what in Absolute Essays Eureka Bestiary Monster Compendium Adaptation Mutation Tracker Google Doc. Link in the description. If you are lacking some Logos actions in Pyros, this may be your chance to fill in some blanks. Let's get into Notorious Monsters. All Notorious Monsters have a chance to drop an item called a Hydatos cluster. I'll go into what these are used for later. As for fates that have unique rewards, like Pyros, Hydatos has a trio of fates that drop special items that can be traded to the Expedition Engineer at the base camp in Central Point for another Magicite to upgrade your Magia board. First is Molech. In the center of the West Val Riverbank, culling the Val Nolchus will spawn the level 52 fate Bullheaded Berserker, where you have a chance of receiving Molech's Horn if you complete it at a gold rating. Going from the center to the northern western edge of the East Val Riverbank, you can find the nocturnal Hydatos Wraiths. Please note that the fate spawners are only the level 61 Wraiths, not the level 60s. Killing enough of these Ashkin will spawn the level 56 fate duty free, which has you going against King Goldemar. Slay the Void Scent Smith, and he has a chance to drop the Vigor Triple Triad card and Goldemar's Horn. And the final of the trio, at the very northeast of the East Val Riverbank, you can spawn the level 59 fate Stone Cold Killer by murdering Hydatos Delphines. This has you facing Seto, and by killing her, you could receive Seto's Claw. For what can be considered the boss of the area, in the East Val Riverbank, southwest of the Crystal Dragon's Bloom, are the Crystal Claws. These are the spawner for the level 50 fate Crystalline Providence. Providence Watcher is the foe to face, and like all bosses before, beating him will give you a guaranteed token drop of 3 crystalline scales, and a chance at the Providence Watcher Triple Triad card. Unlike the previous area's boss's currency drops, you cannot trade crystals in for scales, but trust me, considering the crystal grind, you wouldn't want to spend them anyway. There are 2 other fates that break all other Notorious Monster conventions, and have a special status attached to them. First is the level 50 I Don't Want to Believe fate. This has no spawner mobs, instead its only spawn conditions are a timer, and that the instance isn't locked. You will receive the message, the umbral turbulence is destabilizing the flow of Aether in Hydatos, and the weather will change to umbral turbulence. This is your sign to get to the southeast of the Val River source, just northeast of the Aether Bridge Foundation, to fight Ovni. While defeating this enigmatic jellyfish yields the standard fate rewards and a chance of an obscure logogram, it also gives you the Ethereal Primed buff and will spawn 46 Ethereal nodes across the map. More on those later. On a note, at least one person who is fighting Ovni should have the Dispel Logos action, which is used to take away its damage buff it gets after casting Fluorescence. Failure to do so will make defeating Ovni extremely difficult, as after enough damage boosts, even its auto attacks become lethal. On a similar note, the level 50 the Baldesion Arsenal Expedition Support Fates can only be spawned by actions taken inside the Baldesion Arsenal. This fate, located in the south of the Val River source, is directly tied to one of the bosses in the open dungeon, and those on the outside need to complete this fate in order for that boss to be defeated. This has you going against waves of Fuabos, before ending with Tristitia. This fate gives a whopping 30 Hydatos crystals when completed, and it also gives you the Ethereal Primed buff, which allows you to enter the additional 8 Aether nodes it spawns upon defeat. For those of you who take these portals, you will be able to participate in the last section of the Baldesion Arsenal. For Hydatos Lockboxes, the prizes worth mentioning are the Black Mage Glamour Weapon, Shantoto's Staff, the Gates of Paradise, the Garden of Ru'Hmet Orchestron Roll, the Yukinko Snowflake Minion, the Paisa Chronometer Tabletop Housing Item, the Simple Treehouse Outdoor Furnishing Item, as well as all the materials needed for Potions of Harmony. The Moisture Warped Lockboxes are the Hydatos Mutation Mob Drops. They give you chances at the Ballroom's Etiquette Overzealous Affirmations, which gives you access to the Fist Pump emote, the Onslaught Orchestron Roll, the Yukinko Snowflake Minion, Charlian Aether Oil, more on that later, and Tactile Logograms. There is only one elemental conflict for Happy Bunnies in Hydatos. Located on the west of the Val River source, the level 50 Drink Me Fate is your source for the treasure hunting bunnies. Be aware, these rabbits will take you all across the map, including spots with high level mobs. So if you're starting out before you've maxed your elemental level, just be cautious. In Hydatos, the notable rewards for the bronze chests are the Inimical, Protective, and Curative logograms. Silver give you a chance at Aethertite Flasks, which you can trade into the Expedition Alchemist to increase the amount of stored logos actions you can have to a maximum of 6, the Aetherically Conductive Plate, whose importance I will get to shortly, the Happy Bunny Triple Tricard, and Mitative Logograms. Gold grants the possibility of the Dragoon Glamour Arms, Penicillia's Spear, and the Absolute Lance. The previously mentioned Aetherically Conductive Plate, the Eurekan Petrel Horn, which allows you to summon the Eurekan Petrel Mount, and Offensive Logograms. Now, to get into the significance of the 3 items I've been mentioning, that being the Hydatos Cluster, the Charlian Aether Oil, and the Aetherically Conductive Plate. If you collect all 3 of these and then speak to the Expedition Scholar at Central Point, she will trade you an Aetheric Stabilizer. You can also trade 100 crystals from all 3 previous Eureka zones to get one as well. As for what Aetheric Stabilizers do, as mentioned before, when you defeat Ovni and Tristitia, unstable ethereal nodes appear. While these will eventually transform into stable nodes that only require the ethereally primed buff to enter. If you want to get a jump start and get into the Baldesion Arsenal ahead of people before they have the option of stable nodes, using the Aetheric Stabilizer on an unstable node, while having the ethereally primed status, will allow you to use it and enter the dungeon. There is a caveat: this will make a random stable node disappear when they spawn, meaning it could be anywhere on the map and not just the closest one that would spawn next to the unstable node you used. But be warned, considering that almost all Baldesion Arsenal runs are a highly coordinated group effort, the use of stabilizers is highly discouraged. And if you are caught using one, there is a good chance that Bardessian arsenal groups will blacklist you. The only reason you would ever use one is if there was some sort of cutthroat first come first served BA run, where you'd want to have an advantage of not waiting for the stable portals to appear. If you are foolhardy enough to approach the arsenal alone, and just can't be bothered to wait for the stable portals to show, then sure, have at it. Now for the crystal rewards. To upgrade your Pyros weapon to its final matte form costs 250 crystals, with an additional 100 crystals and 5 crystalline scales to get your Eureka weapon, which comes with the effect. If you're only interested in the non-effect replica of this weapon, you still need to complete the Eureka step for it to become available from Stalehunter's replica shop in Kugane at Pier 1. You can also upgrade your Elemental Armor to Elemental Armor Plus 1. This comes with a new color scheme as well as glowing effects. To have access to the Expedition Artisan at Central Point, you will need to complete all of the Hydatos quests and fill in all 56 Logos actions. In addition to crystals, you'll need to trade in the corresponding elemental armor pieces that you get from the Expedition Artisan shop in Pyros. The head, hands, and feet cost 30 crystals, with the body and legs being 50, adding up to a total of 190 crystals for each set. Besides obtaining it for glamour, if you are a trial player or an ultimate enthusiast, the Elemental Plus 1 sets are the best in slot for level 70 gear. So even if you aren't interested in the glams, you still might want to pick these up. As for the addendum on methods outside of Eureka in obtaining some of these rewards, if you want to get the Providence Watcher card, it is a possible reward from winning triple triad matches against Hetsukaze, who is on the Kuroboro Maru at the short pier in Kugane. In ironic fashion, he is unlocked by completing the featured quest, and we shall call it Hydatos. The Happy Bunny card is a possible prize from defeating Botan in triple triad matches, who is located at Pier 1 in Kugane. To make her playable, you will need to complete the featured quest, and we shall call it Pyros. For the Yukino Snowflake and Eurekan Petrel Horn, they are rare prizes from the Material Containers 4.0, which you can obtain for 20,000 company seals from your Grand Company, if you are at the Captain rank. And there you have it. I hope this helps you decide if Hydatos was worth doing. But what do you think? Are you going to finish Hydatos? What rewards will you be going for? If you're an Eurekan Sprout and you have any questions about Hydatos, feel free to ask them in the comments. And for you Eureka enjoyers, if you have any tips on Hydatos to help out the Sprouts, post them below. Make sure to like and subscribe, and become a channel member if you want to support the channel directly. And stay tuned because we aren't finished yet. In my next video, I will be going over the true final Eureka challenge, the 56-man open dungeon, Bardessian Arsenal. Until then, I'll see you in the world of tomorrow.